Welcome to Let's Learn Jurassic World Evolution. We continue our development of Tacano as we continue to develop the park and prepare for T-Rex. As our growth accelerates here, now our satisfaction is starting to fall behind. These our first four businesses can't keep up. You can see our demand satisfaction, we're starting to actually have shortages. And that's just simply because we have too many people now. We actually filled up all those food, drink, and fun and shopping that we have available, and now we're going to have to create more. So what we're going to do here is continue with the keeping everything nice and compact. We're going to set up a little road network around these hotels, and we're going to add some more services in around the hotels so that we have adequate service that we can get our facility.
Watching you work? Now that's what I call an entertainment.
Our satisfaction rating up extremely high, the way we like it.
Contract you. Yes.
So we'll go ahead and add in kind of our big four again. We'll repeat them because we're out of capacity. So we'll add in gift shop, fast food, restaurant, and clothes shop. And now we can see that we're back up to the kind of numbers we like, 95, 99, 100. That's the kind of numbers we like to see. Now we have enough capacity in those shops to meet the demands of our ever-increasing population of guests. So we just keep with our process and keep on growing. And you can see right there, we're actually having a hard time getting the fossils out as fast as our expeditions can bring them back. That's a nice problem to have. We're just stacking up fossils faster than we can extract them. We do have an extraction speed on there, and I have a couple of upgrades to give us more capacity in the fossil center, but just the same, it's very difficult to keep up. We just have to keep on the extractions as fast as we can go. And whenever we get a few of them done, that opens up enough space that the next expedition can bring their treasures back to us. You can see all the T-Rex stuff. We're up high 90s now for T-Rex, so we're about ready to get it to 100. And we really want to push it to 100 and then start cranking it out. Or, well, cranking. There's only going to be one, but we will make our T-Rex, incubate our T-Rex. See there, we're at 100 now. We can start selling off the T-Rex fossils. And now we're going to add velociraptors into that baryonyx pen, and also going to put our chunkingosaurs into our lower left herbivore paddock. Actually, I was ahead of myself on the velociraptors. This is the obviously the chunkingosaurs for the lower left paddock for the herbivores. velociraptors will, well, you can,
Opportunity is knocking.
are coming in a
Answer.
bit. You'll notice I'm not taking those contracts where, you know, dinosaur victories, meaning one dinosaur has to kill another. I'm not taking take pictures of them fighting, because we're not. This is a very peaceful park. There's not going to be any dinosaurs eating each other. We don't need to do that in order to get our 5 stars at all. Now, some of you might consider that a boring way to play, and if you do, that's cool. Just let them fight. It's a great way to build up your points. But I like to think of it more like a zoo. Frankly, that's what this is. This is a zoo, and you don't typically see the zookeepers feeding the zebras to the lions, for example. Now we're going to start planning out our T-Rex paddock, and we're going to use our same principles as our modular design, but we don't have the space to do a full
I've got
out
something
4x4.
If you're interested.
But this will illustrate the flexibility of the approach. We're going to figure out how far up we can put our creation lab. We need space behind it so a path can go through there, and we can get a path and power over there. But that's about all we need. So we're going to move it up kind of center back there as far as we can get it, and then build our fencing out from it, and build as large a paddock as we can given the constraints of the space that we're working with. And bring it down what looks like about the right distance and run it across. Cozy it up to that road, running it up the other side, and then link it back in with the creation lab. And that would give us a nice overall enclosure that we can make into a couple of paddocks for our purposes. And our first and primary purpose is a home for our T-Rex. And we're going to use the same kind of design where we have the Hammond Center on one end and we have our galleries on the opposite end. We're going to build our little runway system here so that we can use this for more than one paddock, and easily, so we're not going to have to, you know, tranquilize dinosaurs and transport them all the way across the map from the other end. We're going to be able to use this creation lab up here to incubate dinosaurs for these paddocks. And we'll have 2 pretty good sized ones. That one left as we're looking at will be a great one for the T-Rex, and then we can use that right one for whatever coming down the road.
It's the one
you
thing
just
we
got to
can't
make
control
sure
and have to accept about these creatures. Some of them have the instinct to kill.
Now we have to be able to get a path up there to that Hammond creation lab. Either that or we're going to have to run a monorail up there just for it, which would be a bit silly. So took out a little bit of that fencing to make space for the path going up to the Hammond creation lab. And we've got another sick dino. We've got to call time out and go take care of it.
Understood.
So again, we medicate and then queue up some more tasks and get back to what we're doing. We'll put in a substation, make sure it has power. Decide to run it around the back of these buildings so that just in case we use that pathing for something else. Probably not going to happen, but you never know. So there we go. Now we've got a Hammond Creation Lab. We've got that paddock over there ready. We still got an unfinished fence on that from this angle, the right paddock. But now we're going to figure out how we're going to put a watchtower on that corner, because you got that curvature there, and it's awfully tight. So we're going to end up squaring that off a little bit more in order to be able to put that watchtower in there the way we want to. A viewing tower, I guess it's called. Now that looks pretty good. We can fit the gallery next to it and get the wide view. It gives us the long, deep view. We can now we'll have the ability to see everything going on in that paddock.
Taking that contract was the smart choice. You've proved that. Thanks.
So we build our path, straight line path, and we connect our two galleries to it, our tower and our gallery to it. And now we need to follow our transportation principles and drop our monorail into our little modular build here. So we're going to put it so that it can be right there centralized and drop people off right at those viewing galleries. And the other end is going to go up here right at the entrance to the park. Remember, we've got 100% transportation down here because everything's such a nice short walk. But that will not be the case if they have to walk all the way up to that T-Rex paddock. So we're going to get rid of that water to give us a nice space to put in our monorail. And we're going to loop it out from this end, just in case down the road we want to be able to go the other direction, over toward the other paddocks and on down to the other end of the island. So we're going to make sure that we have that flexibility by starting this one in that way and bringing it up up here. And then we're also going to do a little funky here. We want to make sure that we can connect into that monorail station, but we also want to go over our paddocks and get that visibility bump. So we're going to kind of loop out from the opposite end like so, and loop back around and connect up like that. And that way people coming into the monorail will take a nice ride over the T-Rex paddock before they get to their destination. So that large substation is just big enough to give us power to that monorail station, so we're good there. And we have a weird thing right here. This has got to be a defect. The Jeep, our Ranger, cannot find his way over to that feeder, even though there's two gates he can very clearly go through. And it's got to be a problem. And I tried just rescheduling it, and it's still confused. So I broke down and actually drove the Jeep a little bit to get it over there and pass it through. And I didn't have any problems after this, but I don't know if I ever tried to do this exact
Like us,
combination of things
different
again.
dinosaurs require different diets. Make sure to place the correct type of feeder in an enclosure. I'm a red meat man myself.
So I'm going to do something I rarely do and try to drive this vehicle. If I can get that Struthi out of the way. Thank you. And there I am. I'm already lost. Already going the wrong way. But I amaze myself and line up on this gate pretty well. It opens for me. And in I go. And now it can do its task just fine. That was strange. That had to be a defect. Here come our velociraptors out to join the baryonyx down there in our carnivore paddock and bump our rating even higher. And you can see we're teetering on about 4.5 right now, and we have not made a T-Rex or anything else. We're already at 4.5 stars. So now we need to finish out our build down here and prepare for putting in our facilities, our food, drink,
I
fun,
can't
and
thank you
shopping.
enough, which means I'm not gonna try. Money. It makes the world go round, and it's what makes this.
So we just got the message that we now have our entertainment mission. But if you notice, I turned it down. And I have come to the conclusion that I prefer playing these. And if I was, you know, you can't start again, of course. I've already played through this multiple times. But if I was playing this game for the first time, I would not accept the missions until I had all three of them, until I qualified for all three.
I'd strongly
And
suggest
the reason I
you
say
consider
that
taking
is,
this contract.
after you get them, you kind of can look at the early tasks in them and get an idea of what's coming down the road, and two, what you need to do to prepare for it so that you can work more efficiently. So I have now started, when I play these, that I don't take any missions until I qualify for the third one, and then I'll pick one and go. Usually I'll just take the third one at that point. Just because it's easy, but it's easy enough to just take it. But again, I wouldn't take the missions. I used to think you wanted to get the missions out of the way as soon as you can because I felt like they messed up your park. But I now feel like you just want to delay them until you qualified for all three. And that also comes from the idea that you want to play each of the islands until you get everything out of the island that you can. And if you're going to do that anyway, and you're going to get a lot of reputation with
Heading to
all
collect
three
the-
divisions, you might as well gather up all your missions.
You never let your foot off the gas until that
So
contract.
we're going to
crossed the
replace this
finish line.
small substation with a larger one that'll give us some more radius, and that way we can get power to our entire little section down here that we're trying to build. And in keeping with our modular design, we've got the Hammond Center on one end. Opposite end, we've got our viewing towers and galleries. We've got the monorail delivering right there, and we're going to put our food, food, shopping, drink, and fun. I guess I should say food, drink, fun, and shopping shops right there, right around the monorail, and very, very close to our viewing gallery and viewing tower. That way we'll keep the satisfaction high. So now it's time to fire up our T-Rex, and we want to modify it, and heavily. Make sure it has a cosmetic change, of course, but make sure and just put a good blend of the available genome modifications on it, so that we get a good high rating and a good healthy dinosaur that's going to last. So I find myself now taking kind of the first one in each category, and then when it comes up again, passing down and taking the second one in that category. The only thing I'll kind of avoid is aggressive instincts. If I have a choice to go a different way, I'll tend to pass on aggressive instincts. But there we've got a dinosaur. It's worth 384 points, so that's pretty good. And I forgot to do my success rate upgrades. And I've got that dinosaur so modified, he's only at 40 some percent success rate, so we certainly need upgrades to get him out the door.
I've just seen the reports.
Excuse me.
Our numbers are up thanks to you. Well
We've
done.
got some more
on completing that
velociraptors
contract.
joining us. And now we get the science mission, and we also turn it down. So we've qualified for the entertainment mission and the science mission so far. And the strategy we've used all the way along in terms of these contracts is we just keep making a contract with whoever has the lowest opinion of us. And that way we're avoiding sabotage, and we are slowly building up our reputation with all three of the divisions, and as each one hits a critical point, we qualify for the mission. And then of course we keep going after that and keep building reputation, because we want all the bonuses that they offer on the island. So here we're setting up our shopping down here in our T-Rex module, so that the folks down here can have plenty to eat, drink, can have some fun, and can do a little shopping, spend some of their money, and stay happy. So we're going to put our big four: fast food, gift shop, restaurant, and clothes shop.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you hungry or thirsty? Visit our new fast food restaurant.
And we'll go ahead and max out all of these, so we don't have to think about it later on, and it won't be long before we'll need that kind of capacity anyway. There's the restaurant, our fourth of the big four. And that should give us good satisfaction around the T-Rex. A pretty good rain falling here. But these rains don't hurt you. The hard rain, the dinosaurs don't mind. It's the actual storms that get you. And you can see our ratings are pretty good. We're 5-star. We're just like 4 3/4. We're almost a 5 at this point. And we could push it easily and get a 5 with just a couple more dinosaurs up in our original set of paddocks. there's plenty of room there for more dinosaurs. We'll keep pushing our 3 dig teams out there, keep bringing in those fossils so we can keep getting genomes up to 100% and keep making money on the expeditions. T-Rex is looking pretty good. I was concerned about it with that 41% viability, but it's looking pretty good now. So it's time to get her paddock ready. Now we need that gate out there because there has to be some way for our rangers to get into the T-Rex paddock. And now we can finish off that part we messed up there, changing our pathing for the Hammond Creation Lab. So now we've got an almost complete paddock down here on the bottom of our screen. It actually is missing the gate out of the Creation Lab. We can worry about that when we're ready to use that paddock. And we got a reward of an ACU accuracy upgrade, so I want to make sure that we've gone from the 1.0 to the 2.0, which is a stronger upgrade. So here comes our T-Rex.
Ah, yes, the tyrant lizard, the Tyrannosaurus Rex. Favorite of early century fiction writers and adolescent children everywhere. And why? Because it represents everything that we fear about the past. It's what we believe that we've conquered, even though it ceased to exist before humanity had reached the proto-ape stage. And that was true. Until now. Until you.
So now we're teetering on 5 stars. All we need is to improve our capacity a little bit.
I know
So
you've
we're
handled
building
work like this in the past.
one more
So this
hotel.
contract should be right up your alley.
And when that hotel finishes, we should hit 5 stars for our park. We've got plenty of dinosaur power, particularly with the T-Rex. But even without it, we would have been able to do it just up in our first paddock, just by adding a few more dinosaurs. But still, it's nice to have a T-Rex. And now we'll remember to put in our shelter. That's the one thing we're missing up here. And I'll say it again, there should be 5 buildings in your modular design in terms of services: fast food, gift shop, clothes shop, restaurant, and shelter.
What can I say? You did good. On the best of days, keeping our animals contained can be a real test of mind and muscle. But this next one, it's gonna require something more. That's why I thought of you.
So that since now we've got our third mission, and we're going to...
For many of these animals, their natural state is one of contained aggression. Well, in this project, we're gonna unleash it. Amplify it even. This will let you get a handle on who you really are, and what they, the dinosaurs, can become.
So we're going to focus our expeditions on Deinonychus.
We need to research genetic modifications. We're looking for genes that can have an impact on the dinosaur's specific traits. Their aggression, attack rating, and so on.
And Dr. Dua need not know anything about this. This is a point I don't want to have to repeat.
Copy that.
And you can see we've already done all our research.
I've received word the research is
Yep,
complete.
there, he
We
figured
can
it out.
proceed with genetic mods to the animals. Specifically, hyper-aggressive behavioral mods.
Whoa, what are you going to do to these dinosaurs? I seriously hope that you know what you're doing, because I know, and I survived it. It's something that you cannot yet say.
And now, as you can see, we've hit our 5 stars. So I'm going to cut off this one right here, so that we don't have to do any spoilers for those of you who like to do these missions without knowing what's coming. Although I have obviously given you some bit of a spoiler, but certainly haven't shown you the whole thing. So let's stop right here. We've got a 5-star island now on Tacano. We built it up using modular build. In fact, we started it with a modular build by destroying practically everything in the park. And now we have built it back up. We used another modified modular build at the part we're looking at right here, where the T-Rex is located. And we have plenty of dino power, outstanding satisfaction, great transportation. There you can see our numbers. Our fun rating is a little bit low, so we can bump that one up just a little bit. In fact, here we go. Let's figure out where it needs help. It's good up here in the T-Rex, but over here, right over there in that corner where that gallery, those 2 galleries are a little low. So
With a
we're
rep
going
like
to...
yours, you'll soon have the loyalty of the entire security division.
So we'll put an arcade in there. That will definitely take care of the fun rating in that area. So once that arcade's done, we'll have all of our satisfactions up in the mid to high 90s, which will be outstanding. And we'll have a really good solid park. And from there, we can go ahead and play our missions and continue to build our reputation and get all the benefits we can possibly get out of Isla Tacano. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it adds to your enjoyment of the game. And I hope you'll join us for our next Jurassic World Evolution video. Thank you.